You're minutes away from boarding your flight, but suddenly your seat is gone. The airline overbooked. Your luggage? Nowhere to be found. And that airport meal you just finished? Let's just say you should have known the truth before taking that first bite. These aren't accidents. In the modern era of hyper-efficiency, they are part of a meticulously engineered system designed to control your movements, manipulate your choices, and maximize airline profits at the direct expense of your comfort. Most travelers believe that overbooking is a mistake or that security is always about safety. But the reality is much darker. There is a reason airport security sometimes ignores suspicious items, and it isn't what you think. Did you know that airlines are tracking your every move, even if you only fly once a year? Today I'm revealing 12 shocking airport secrets that will save you thousands of dollars, hours of stress, and maybe even keep you out of a secondary screening room. We'll discuss the overbooking scam, the hidden bacteria in the water, and the $30,000 mistake you're probably one handle pull away from making. By the time we reach the final secret about your lost luggage, you'll realize that the airport isn't a terminal. It's a trap. 12. The overbooking algorithm. Airlines don't just accidentally sell too many tickets. They use predictive no-show modeling. They know exactly what percentage of travelers will miss a Tuesday morning flight versus a Friday evening one, based on decades of historical data. But when the math fails and too many people show up, they rely on your ignorance to solve their problem. The strategy: never accept the first voucher offer. Airlines start low, but federal law often mandates much higher compensation, sometimes up to $1,550 in cash, not just vouchers. If you are bumped involuntarily, you have the leverage. Demand a seat in a higher class on the next flight in cold, hard cash. They have a hidden upper limit for payouts that they only reach when a passenger knows their rights. If you don't fight for your value, the airline wins the math game every time. 11. The gate agent's discretion. You think first-class upgrades are only for the elite flyers? That's what the marketing wants you to believe. There is an unwritten rule of tactical upgrading. Gate agents often have to move people to balance the aircraft or clear overbooked economy rows at the last second. They don't pick the person in the hoodie. They pick the traveler who signals status and calm. This is where business casual becomes a tactical tool. When checking in, don't ask for a free upgrade. That's a dead end. Instead, use coded language. Ask if there are any preferred seating adjustments or operational reassignments today. It signals that you understand how the system works. A professional appearance and the right vocabulary can move you from row 45 to row 2 for $0. 10. Security's calculated blindness. Have you ever noticed a bag with a suspicious item get waved through while your water bottle gets confiscated? It isn't always human error. Security protocols sometimes include controlled tracking. If agents flag a suspicious item, like a testing device or a low-level threat, they may intentionally let it pass to see who the traveler meets at the gate or the final destination. You are being used as a biological marker in a larger investigation, but there's a darker side. Human error still accounts for nearly 20% of missed threats. The next time you see security being lax, remember that it might be part of a high-stakes sting operation, or it might be a failure of the system. Either way, you aren't as safe as the security theater suggests. In the terminal, perception is never reality. 9. The plumbing paradox. Airport water is a biological gamble. Most travelers assume the fountains are filtered and safe. In reality, many major hubs are running on legacy infrastructure that hasn't been flushed in years. Independent studies have found that airport water samples frequently contain bacteria levels that exceed safe drinking standards, including E. coli. The pipes are often contaminated with mold or even trace amounts of jet fuel from ground-level seepage. The solution? Never drink from a fountain. Even the filtered stations are only as good as the last time a stressed-out maintenance worker changed the filter. Bring your own bottle, but only fill it from reputable, high-traffic vendors or stick to sealed beverages. What you don't see in that free water could ruin your entire vacation before you even land. 8. The behavioral tracking web. The moment you step into a terminal, you are being digitally dissected. Your boarding pass is linked to a behavioral profiling system. If you connect to the free Wi-Fi, the airport has your location, your browsing history, and your recent searches. But the real threat is AI-powered facial recognition. Advanced software tracks your gait and your facial microexpressions to detect nervous behavior. You haven't committed a crime, but the algorithm might decide you are a high-risk passenger based on your heart rate or eye movement. They sell this data to third parties and use it to decide who gets randomly selected for a search. To stay off the radar, Stay off the public Wi-Fi and keep your movements deliberate and calm. In a world of constant surveillance, composure is your only disguise. 7. The captive customer inflation. Why does a sandwich cost 3 times its normal price? It isn't just inflation, it's contractual monopolies. Airports sign exclusive deals with vendors that forbid them from price matching their locations outside the airport. They know you have nowhere else to go. Airlines often get a percentage of these sales, which is why they rarely provide substantial food and economy. They want you to buy it in the terminal. The pro hack: you can legally bring a full meal through security. A sandwich from home or a high-end deli is allowed as long as it isn't a liquid. Don't pay the captive tax. Bring your own fuel and beat the airport's pricing game. Efficiency begins with preparation, not a credit card. 6. The $30,000 slide trap. That red handle on the emergency exit isn't just a safety tool, it's a financial landmine. If you pull that handle in a non-emergency, the slide deploys with explosive force in less than 6 seconds. The cost to repack and recertify that slide can exceed $30,000. Airlines are increasingly aggressive about passing this bill directly to the passenger. One accidental pull, perhaps out of curiosity or frustration during a long tarmac delay, can result in an immediate legal judgment against you. Treat that handle like a loaded weapon. Unless the cabin is filling with smoke or water, keep your hands in your lap. A moment of fresh air isn't worth a decade of debt. 5. The extraordinary circumstances. Lie. When your flight is delayed and the agent says it's weather, they might be lying to save the airline money. Under many international laws, airlines only have to pay compensation for delays they control, like mechanical issues or crew scheduling. By blaming the weather, even if the skies are clear, they invoke extraordinary circumstances to avoid paying you. Smart travelers use flight tracking apps to monitor their incoming aircraft. If your plane is sitting at the gate with a maintenance crew, but the board says weather, you have proof of a lie. Record the announcement and demand your compensation. Don't let them hide their operational failures behind a cloud. The truth is always visible if you have the right data. 4. The hidden transit hotels. Long layovers don't have to mean sleeping on a terminal floor. Many international carriers have a secret stopover policy known as STPC, stopover paid by carrier. If your connection is longer than 8 or 10 hours, major global airlines will often provide a free luxury hotel room and meals, but they never advertise it. If you don't ask at the transit desk, they will let you sit in the terminal. Always check the stopover section of the airline's website before you book. If you play your cards right, you can turn a grueling layover into a free one-day vacation in a 5-star hotel. Luxury is often hidden behind a question you haven't asked yet. 3. The terminal sleep zones. If you can't get a free hotel, stop looking for a bench. Major hubs have dedicated sleep zones that aren't on the main maps. These are quiet rooms with reclining loungers and dim lighting, often tucked away in terminal extensions or near the prayer rooms. Most travelers pay $80 for a lounge just for a nap, while these zones are completely free. The trick? Ask a janitor or a security guard for the quiet room. They know the terminal's true layout better than the digital kiosks do. The most valuable areas of an airport are usually the ones with the least amount of signage. 2. The pilot's danger list. Not every runway is a safe harbor. There are Category C airports that require special pilot certification just to land. From runways that end abruptly in the ocean to high-altitude strips where the air is too thin for standard braking, the margin for error is razor thin. Airlines won't tell you if your destination is a high-risk approach because it might hurt ticket sales. If you're flying into a short runway or mountain-locked airport, know that you are in the airport with no second chances. Your safety depends entirely on a pilot's specialized training. In aviation, the most dangerous destinations are often the most beautiful ones. 1. The unclaimed baggage economy. When your bag goes missing, the airline tells you they're searching. In reality, after a 60 to 90-day window, your bag is considered legal salvage. Airlines sell these lost bags by the truckload to massive unclaimed baggage centers. Your designer clothes, your electronics, and even your family heirlooms are sold to the highest bidder. The airline already paid you a small settlement, so they don't care about the bag anymore. The truth: many bags aren't lost. They were simply mismanaged by an automated system that decided it was cheaper to pay you off than to find the suitcase. To prevent this, use a GPS tracker. If you can show the airline exactly where your bag is, they can't claim it's unclaimed. The system only works if you let it lose you. Stay tracked and stay found. The airport is a landscape of invisible manipulation. From the overbooking math to the salvage economy of your lost luggage, the system is designed to profit from your lack of information. But once you understand the unwritten rules, when you know to ask for the STPC hotel or how to negotiate an involuntary bump, you stop being a captive customer and start being a master of the journey. I want to hear from you. Which of these secrets shocked you the most? Was it the $30,000 slide fine or the truth about airport water? Share your stories in the comments below. I read every single one, and your experience is the best weapon we have to help our community travel smarter. If this guide changed the way you view your next boarding pass, hit that like button and subscribe to join our community of elite travelers. Safe travels. Fly smarter, not harder.